Pain is a beautiful thing. Challenge is what life is about. A life without challenge, a life without pain is a life without growth. And where there is no growth, there's stale, stagnant energy. And that's where most people live. Because most people's lives are designed around treading a path that is void of challenge. The minute they recognize challenge or pain, they move the other way. This is a primal instinct and normal and natural, but a weak perspective. Most people are bored if you ask them, what do you think about your life? Same old, same old. That's because they're living their lives in a lie that is shrouded in comfort. It doesn't exist. They're not challenged, they're not growing, they're bored, and they're better off dead. Your aliveness is found in your pain. Embrace it, love it, and grow from it. You've got to embrace failure because failure is the soil that brings forth the plant of success. In other words, with every failure is the seed for success. You cannot succeed without failure in the same way that a tree cannot grow if you don't bury the seed in the soil, right? So be okay with it. Say, yes, I'm gonna fail. Yes, this is not gonna work out. Yes, this is gonna be a complete failure. So make more mistakes, make more failures, keep going. The idea is to just shut your brain off, because that's what the thing is, you're neurotic, you're thinking too much. Shut your brain off and just do it anyway. Screw it up big time. I tell this to people all the time. Failure is your tool. Failure is the evolution towards being a stronger version of yourself. You've got to fail. Embrace failure, love failure. Fail as many times as you possibly can so that you can get one step closer to having the thing happen. Self-doubt is purely a head-created phenomenon. You were taught it and you do it to yourself. Your heart and your balls have a brilliance to them that allow them to do some magnificent shit without this guy getting in the way. And that's what it means when you get in your own way. That's what self-doubt is. The fastest Band-Aid ripped off remedy to fixing this terrible situation is to do the thing you're afraid to do. Do it. It's not about feeling confident about going into the situation. It's not about knowing that it's going to work out. It's not about having the most detailed plan for how this thing will happen. It's about doing it. Courage. Courage is what you will experience and what you will grow when the doubt is there, but you do it anyway. So your problem isn't doubt. Your problem is courage. Doubt is going to be there, but doubt gets out of the way when you express courage, right? Doubt is like it's burned off by courage. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, do the thing and you will have the power. We're waiting for the power. We're waiting not to self-doubt any longer, right? Whatever it is that you're deciding that you want to do with yourself, that you're doubting your ability on, just do it. Fuck it up completely. That's another thing that you've got to get through your mind, is that success is not doing the right thing, and it definitely isn't doing the right thing the first time. Success is having the courage to move in the direction of your dreams. Move in the direction that your heart is taking you. That is what success is, as you are progressively realizing that thing. People think success is, I've got a plan and I go and work out that plan. It never, ever works that way. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. But progressive realization means that you're doing things that you don't know how to do. You're stepping out in faith. You're being courageous. Your self-doubt will step out of the way when you build the balls to do the thing, and the power will be added to you. Becoming a stronger version of yourself isn't so much about what you do. You know, we like to think that like a stronger version of me will be doing this, or I need to do that in order to be a stronger version of myself. Really, what you'll end up finding is that a stronger version of yourself requires that you give things up. The hardest part about becoming the strongest version of yourself is giving up lower forms of yourself or weaker forms of yourself, whatever that is to you, right? I'm not here to judge what's stronger or what's weaker. And what that means is there's going to be a challenge to your ideologies. And ideologies come in many different forms, philosophies, religions, things of that nature, that you have to question, but you've got to ask yourself these questions. And the biggest ideology that needs to be challenged, that you need to ask yourself, you need to challenge, ask yourself whether you're willing to give it up or not, is the idea of who you think you are. You say who you think you are is a manifestation of the experiences that you've had, the things that you've been told, the conditioning that you receive as a child, and the environment and how the people in your environment respond to you, what they expect of you. So when you challenge Bob or Dave or Dan or Susie or whatever it is that is associated with your name, it's almost like your actual personhood is crumbling. Right? The ego structure that you've developed over the past 30 years, how old you are, is being challenged and has to break down in many regards. And we become very attached. Everyone else becomes very attached to that version of you. And it ends up being less of a struggle to do more things to become a stronger version of yourself, and more a challenge to give up things that you believe are an integral part of who you are. Especially when those things are unresourceful to your growth. You choose the habit that's associated with dominating one thing, it will inevitably trickle over into other areas of your life. You will see success in other areas if you just dominate this one thing.
Do the thing you fear the most, and fear will move out of the way. It's always that thing that you're not too sure about or that you fear that I often think is the direction you should go into. If you've got two choices about where you want to go next, and this is the well-trodden path, in other words, it seems like it's stable, it seems like there is stability, safety, security in this particular direction, and this one is a mystery. Take the mystery, because you will never regret taking action in the direction of your dreams, regardless of what it gives you, because the experience always enhances you, as opposed to taking that well-trodden path, living a life that truly isn't yours but was handed to you or carved out for you. Take the road less traveled.
You've got to expose yourself to a lot of different things to find out what exactly you really love. That means read lots of books on topics that you enjoy. Continue to expose yourself to ideas from people that you respect. That's probably one of the best things to do. Look at someone who you admire and you like what they do, and really pick their brain. In other words, read all their books, watch all their videos, read all their blog posts. Do whatever you can to get inside the mind of that person. And also, go outside the bounds of the typical things that you may read or study. So if all you read is magazines, go out and read some poetry. Just expand your mind. You've got to really expand your horizon by exposing yourself to ideas and things that seem almost foreign to you. You've got to go out and bombard yourself with new ideas. And the weirder the ideas seem, the more it'll expand your mind. You've watched some of my other videos, you see how weird some of the things I like to expose myself to, and then I add it to who I am, and it continues to show me what my passions are. So that brings me to the next point, that think of your core, the most passionate, strongest version of yourself, as the pit or the center of a onion, right? So there are layers there. So you're going to have to peel back layers, and this takes the course of a lifetime. So who you are today and the passions that you have today aren't going to be what your passions are and who you are tomorrow. The strongest version of you right now is the strongest version of you, but 10 years from now, that's going to look totally different than it looks right now. So my advice with regard to that is don't be afraid to evolve. So because you say your passion is blank today, doesn't mean that next year, 5 years, 10 years from now, it's going to be completely different than that. But the only way that you can expose those new layers, those deeper layers that click closer and closer and closer to the true, strongest you, is to continue exposing yourself to new ideas.